Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another thrilling episode of Exposed Earnings. I'm your host, Jackie, and with me, as always, is the brilliant Kyra. How are you today, Kyra?
I'm doing well, Jackie. Excited to dive into today's topic. We're unpacking the first quarter 2024 earnings call from Duolingo, a company that's been making waves in the language learning space.
Absolutely, Kyra. And it seems like they've been doing more than just making waves. They've been surfing them. They reported a stellar quarter with revenue and bookings growth of 45% and 41% respectively. That's not just good, it's record-breaking for them.
Indeed, Jackie. Their strategy seems to be paying off. They focus on three main areas: teaching better, growing their user base, and converting these users to subscribers. It's a simple yet effective strategy that has clearly been working for them.
And speaking of subscribers, they've introduced a new tier called Duolingo Max. It's part of their monetization efforts, and from what we gathered, it includes some pretty nifty AI features aimed at enhancing the learning experience.
That's right. The integration of AI into their offerings could be a game changer. It allows for more personalized and engaging learning, which could potentially increase subscriber conversion rates even further.
Now, let's not forget about their English Learner Initiative. English is a global language, and Duolingo sees a massive opportunity here. They mentioned that less than half of their daily active users are learning English, which presents a huge growth avenue for them.
Absolutely. And considering the global market for language learning is estimated to reach $115 billion by next year, the potential for growth is enormous. Duolingo is currently tapping into less than 1% of this market, so the runway for growth is long and wide.
It's like they're at the start of a marathon with a jetpack. Now, switching gears a bit, let's talk about their financial health. They've also raised their full-year guidance based on these strong results.
Yes, their CFO, Matt, provided some color on that. They're expecting bookings and revenue growth of 31% and 38% respectively at the midpoint for 2024. These are significant numbers, especially considering they are comping against a strong 2023.
And let's not breeze past their profitability. They reported a record 26% adjusted EBITDA margin. For a tech company, especially one that's heavily investing in growth like Duolingo, that's pretty impressive.
It certainly is, Jackie. It shows not only growth, but efficient growth. They're not just increasing their revenue, they're doing it in a way that's increasingly profitable.
Before we wrap up, let's touch on their social-first marketing strategy. It seems to be a significant driver for their organic growth, helping them increase subscriber conversion without hefty marketing costs.
Indeed, leveraging platforms like TikTok and Instagram has allowed them to maintain a strong connection with their user base, which is crucial for organic growth. It's a modern approach to marketing that fits perfectly with their tech-savvy audience.
Well, it looks like Duolingo isn't just teaching languages, they're schooling businesses on how to grow. That's all the time we have for today's breakdown of Duolingo's earnings call. We hope you found it as enlightening as we did.
Thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to join us next time on Exposed Earnings. Now we are taking a short break to hear about Zeed. Stay tuned. You know, if you're really vibing with the insights shared on this podcast, you should check out Zeed. It's an awesome app that puts a ton of investing content at your fingertips. Videos from elite asset managers, AI-driven market analysis, and AI portfolio guidance. It basically supercharges your ability to stay in the know on all things trading and investing. Zeed is totally free on iOS and Android, so definitely download it after this episode.
And we're back. Now, let's shift our focus to some of the intriguing questions raised during the earnings call. First up, we had Ralph from William Blair asking about the optimization of subscription tiers. It seems like Duolingo is not just resting on their laurels, but actively experimenting to enhance their offerings.
Exactly, Jackie. Luis, the CEO, mentioned that they are experimenting with a third tier called Duolingo Max, which incorporates AI features to enhance the learning experience. This tier is currently available in a few countries, and for iOS users learning French and Spanish. It's fascinating to see how they are using AI to differentiate the tiers and potentially increase their average revenue per user.
Speaking of AI, it's not just about adding flashy features. Luis highlighted that they are considering moving some existing features around, like unlimited hearts, to the max tier. It's like a puzzle, and they are trying to find the perfect fit that appeals to users and drives subscriptions.
Moving on to another insightful question from Justin at KeyBank. He was curious about the family plan optimizations and how they might impact the business. Luis explained that the family plan has shown organic growth and higher retention, which is fantastic for long-term revenue stability.
Absolutely, and it's not just about adding more users. They're enhancing the social features, making it easier for families to interact and engage with the app. It's turning into a family affair, which could make Duolingo a household staple.
Indeed. And Matt, the CFO, added that as they continue to add value to the family plan, they might experiment with its pricing. It's a delicate balance, but getting it right could significantly affect their revenue and user satisfaction.
Next, we had Brian from JP Morgan diving into the potential revenue contribution from the new Max tier. Matt was quite candid, stating that it's still early days and they are in the process of understanding user reception and the right mix of features.
That's a prudent approach. It's about testing, learning, and adapting. Duolingo seems to be on a path of continuous innovation, not just in their product offerings, but also in how they monetize them.
And speaking of innovation, let's not overlook their English Learner initiative. Luis is quite bullish about this. Given the global demand for English learning, they've revamped their English courses to achieve higher proficiency levels, which could open up new markets and opportunities.
It's a strategic move. By improving the content and placing learners at the right proficiency level, they can enhance user experience and retention. This targeted approach could indeed be a game changer for their growth in the English learning segment.
To wrap up, it's clear that Duolingo is not just about learning languages. They're crafting a robust business model that leverages technology, user engagement, and strategic monetization to stay ahead of the curve.
And with their innovative spirit and relentless focus on user experience, the future looks bright for Duolingo. It will be interesting to see how their experiments with subscription tiers and new market expansions play out.
That's all from us today on Exposed Earnings. We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into Duolingo's earnings call and gained some insights into their growth strategies. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. This earnings call podcast is generated completely using artificial intelligence and does not constitute financial advice. You should always do your own research before making an investment decision. And, as with all investing, your capital will be at risk. The analysis and commentary related to companies' financial performance does not represent official views or guidance from Zeed, the producer of this podcast, nor the companies covered. For more information, visit Zeed.ai.